Welcome back. Well, we've been looking at Asian rates, and many of them are on the downside. Most of the markets, actually, the key ones, Japan, Hong Kong, even mainland China is very, very flat. So no excitement around any breakthrough deal with the US, not showing up in stocks at least today. Let's pull up the implied open. Yesterday, we spent the bulk of the day doing nothing on the Nifty and the broader market. I mean, that was also feeling a little bit of that weight. Today, the indication at least is that we could be starting about 20 points higher. What about individual stocks? Well, let's straight away get to the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. Guys, morning to all of you. Plenty of stocks to go over. Let's first start with all the block action as always. And I think Vivek is picking up something on CE Infosystems. Vivek, morning.
Good morning. That's right. CE Infosystems, or better known as MapMy India, a significant block deal is expected today. PhonePe Private, that holds over 18.5% stake in the company, today is looking to pair close to 5% of the total equity. The floor price for this particular block is at 1,750 rupees a share, indicating a little over 10% discount to yesterday's closing price. When you're talking about the total deal size, it's over 470 crores. Expect some pressure on CE Infosystems, at least at the open, in today's trading session.
Okay, Vivek, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's hop across to Vamakshi. She's tracking two stocks, Paytm as well as MCX. Morning, Vamakshi.
Good morning, Nigel. Let me first start off with MCX. NSE has received SEBI's approval to launch monthly electricity futures contract and it therefore has become the second exchange after MCX got the approval earlier this week. Keep in mind that, a month ago, SEBI had already granted an in-principle approval to NSE for electricity derivatives, and NSE in fact confirmed that in a call as well. And in the con call, they further added that the company has an advantage in this market due to its advanced technology as compared to some of its other players. So the approval coming in from SEBI for NSE was largely expected, but given the kind of move that we saw on MCX earlier this week, it's a sentiment negative because of the competition that comes through from NSE. The next stock on my radar is Paytm. Keep in mind that the Finance Ministry has clarified. They say that there is no plan to levy MDR charge on UPI transactions. MDR is basically the merchant discount fees, and it is the fee charged to merchants for accepting digital payments, which is usually a percentage of the transaction amount. Currently, there is no MDR in place on UPI transactions as well as RuPay debit card payments, but the reintroduction was expected to be positive for Paytm, given that it could allow the company to monetize its payment gateway services more effectively, but this has not come through, and therefore negative for Paytm, going with the red for this counter as well.
All right. Well, lots of talk around this MDR reintroduction, right? And for now, not happening. That's the indication. So keep an eye out on these names, Paytm, and then, of course, MCX as well. Let's talk about more stocks with news flow. Vivek is here with that list. Vivek, good morning.
Well, good morning. A couple of order wins is what we are tracking. First, keep an eye out for Sterlite Technology, the company along with Dilip, Buildcon, and this is an arm of Sterlite called as Global Services, which is a demerged business vertical. So the company has entered into an agreement with BSNL, and this is for construction operation as well as maintenance of a network under BharatNet. This is for the states of Jammu and Kashmir as well as Ladakh. The total order size is over 2,630 crore, where the capex portion is 1,620 crore, and there are two separate opex portions, both at 972 crore as well as 38 crore. The other stock in focus is HG Infra. A long-term supply agreement is what the company has entered into. Now, the company has emerged into a lowest bidder as for a transmission project in Odisha, and this is for a project where the awarding was done by Power Finance Corp. So the company will be the transmission service provider, and they will provide interstate transmission systems. This is for the Eastern Region Generation Scheme. Transmission charges that the company will accrue is close to 43 crores per year.
Okay, all right, got that, Vivek. Thanks very much for those names. Let's quickly move on. Crude oil obviously is the big headline. So let's get to Manisha, because a lot of stocks would be in focus. Oil marketing companies, of course, for one. But let's talk about what's led to this move to $70 a barrel. Manisha, morning.
Thank you for that, Subhi. Absolutely. 2-month highs for the Brent prices and 10-week highs for the U.S. crude prices is how we are trading, and a 5% of a gain in the overnight markets there. 3 or 4 factors that you should keep an eye on. One is the rising tensions between U.S. and Iran, with Iran threatening to strike U.S. bases if nuclear negotiations fall. The second is the U.S. and China trade negotiation progress is supporting the prices. Third is that the softer than expected U.S. consumer inflation data perhaps would support a rate cut by the month of September. And the fourth important point is the U.S. crude stocks, which have declined by 3.6 million barrels in the previous week. The estimate was for 2 million barrels, but we have seen a bigger draw come in for the crude inventories, and that in turn also has been supportive.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So that's oil very much in focus. We'll run you through a quick recap of what our stocks are this morning. So stocks start with positive news flow are Sterlite Tech, Dilip, Buildcon, HG, Infra, ONGC and Oil India. Stocks with negative news flow are Mapma India, MCX, Paytm, Asian Paints and BPCL. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We're going to come back in just a bit from now. And we talk stocks, Deepan Mehta, with some fundamental stock conversation. We'll also have the management of Maruti Suzuki talking about the implications of these rare earth export curbs, some of which seems to be now resolving itself coming up. Stay tuned.